So you were saying, Bill, you were talking about some of the development and transitions that were going on from the 70s to the mid 80s.
Yeah, well, there was those phases of music, and then it was hip hop was taking off too. So that created a whole addition to the whole
Mm-hmm.
music menu at that time, and it was vibrant. It was alive. I mean, you could find all kinds of stuff for
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of people,
Mm-hmm.
and you could find it on the radio. You could find it in record stores. You could find it on different formats in record stores, whether it was an LP, a CD,
Mm-hmm.
a cassette.
Let me
It
jump
was
in for
all
a
there.
let me jump in for a second and let everybody know this is our second segment, if you will, of Black Rock and Soul, part of Getting the Record Straight. We're talking with Bill Walden. Bill Walden, Philly native, now in D.C., and former record executive and jazz station DJ and a bunch of other stuff. And so we're going to pick it back up. But let me say this, Bill. I can remember two of the first things. You were one of the first people from our generation. A lot of us. We were kind of really um, hesitant about hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
You were mentioning people playing their instruments and that kind of thing, and I'm not going to mention her name, but one of our frat brothers was married to an artist, a singer, female singer, and I remember
Yeah,
her
yeah,
sister one time saying that I don't see what's so great about somebody playing somebody else's record and rapping to it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we felt that. I know. I mean, because I and many people that I know revered musicians. I mean, we had, and the other thing was like in our neighborhoods, like in I grew up in around 60th and Master, and there was a band like that was right in the neighborhood. 4 or 5 guys who played guitar, bass, keyboards and drum, and they were good, man. They were really good. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and you had those neighborhood groups and what have you, and some of them, eventually became stars. So that was our background. That was our foundation, if you will. So this new hip hop thing was just where's that coming from? And
Mm-hmm.
I can remember you were one of the first people, if not the first, that I respected who was bringing home C. And the other thing was you were the first person I saw with a CD, and but I remember listening to some of the stuff that you were bringing home that was hip hop or rap, and I was like, well, that ain't bad. And so anyway, I didn't mean to digress, but I did want to throw that in there.
Yeah, it was a different way, and what I've learned, Rob, and my love and passion for music, I have to listen to things with different ears.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like I told you, I did rock and roll stuff. I did,
Mm-hmm.
I had to listen to that because when I listened to rock and roll, honestly, I didn't think most of them could sing. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought that there was some brilliant guitar playing.
Sure.
So I focused on the guitar stuff and rock. In R&B, I listened to the vocals and I listened to the bass line a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Once I got into hip hop, I listened to production, and then I listened to how the rapper would use his voice as an instrument,
Mm-hmm.
because that to me was like an extension of bebop, and scatting, and people really
Sure.
had a different flow. So you
Sure.
have to listen to different genres with different ears.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think if you don't block it, I had to learn this because, I was blocking, honestly. I didn't want to do that stuff either. But
Mm-hmm.
I had to, with different influences that I had, I said, okay, well, let me see what's good in this, And then you
Yeah.
had people like Public Enemy that were bringing political content,
Sure.
poor righteous teachers and so forth. So, there was a lot of, there was a vast amount of music in there. So every kind of ear.
Mm.
So
So
I
talk.
love that time, that period between the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I think was some of the best years of music.
Well,
Um,
I
so
concur, but
even
I'm
because of my
still
age.
I'm still hooked on the '70s, though. But
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
be
yeah.
quite honest, though. Since I've been doing this, and I did the book. Good gosh, we're talking 13 years ago now, and so there
And
was
I'm
a
honored
lot
to
of
be a part of
research.
that book too.
Pardon me.
I said I'm honored to be in that book too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did a lot of research with that, and part of it was being the old guy at the bar at
Yeah.
some you know underground hip hop, conscious hip hop or rap event or venue, and used to go up to New York. In fact, didn't one time I meet you down in D.C. to see a band, at some hole in the wall place.
We absolutely did. Absolutely did.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
band you were hyped on out of Virginia.
yeah, right.
And you said I'm coming down and we're going. And
Yeah,
they were hot. I
yeah,
can't remember the name of
yeah.
it,
I
but they
can't
were
either
hot.
right now. They were very good. Yeah, and they sang
Yeah.
something by Nina Simone. What was it? Four Women or Seven Women or something like that. Yeah.
Well, four women is our classic.
And I can't think. I got to look them up too. But so talk a little bit about your experience with the record companies and what that was all about.
Well, after I went through the political thing at the radio station, I had to come back to Philly, come back home and regroup. And, after kind of moving around a couple quick jobs, I ended up at Third Street Jazz. And, that was a legendary store. And you really had to know your stuff to work there.
Oh, okay.
They were like, the people that worked there were encyclopedias of music. And I remember when I interviewed there, I was quite intimidated. And I won't go into all the stuff because I can go into a long thing. And I honestly didn't think I got the job. And I kind of went home with my tail between my legs. As much as I had done, I felt like I had failed. And a couple of days later, my mom told me Jerry Gordon was on the phone. And he was the owner of the store. And I said, "You got to be kidding me."
Yeah.
He must be calling to tell me I'm not going to make it. But he called me to say, "When can I start?" And that was a great experience, to work there. And I learned it took my knowledge to another level, just in terms, especially on the jazz level, but even just on the R&B and rap and rock level, because like I said, at that time there was all kinds of music flowing. I mean, world music was starting to take hold too, and starting to listen to Taylor and Cootie and stuff like that. So it was all kinds of genres. There was like Duke Ellington said, there's good and bad and all of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
And by working there, I was able to meet some people at the different record labels and so forth. And we did a couple of in stores with some folks at Polygram, and they liked the way I did stuff. And, I said, well, I'd love to join you guys. And they said, well, look, Bill, when we get a slot, we're going to bring you in. So, and they stuck to their word. I interviewed actually here in D.C. first, and they didn't have a spot for me. Then they sent me to Atlanta to interview, and they called me one day and said, well, "What do you think about Detroit?" And I laughed. I said, "Well, I know the market." And, I went back there and ended up living there twice. So, and I was doing black music marketing in that 17-state region in the Midwest. So, we would take new artists and try to develop them and build a story so we could, build some hit records. So I was able to do that and broke a lot of groups and, was artist development rep for the year. One year, I think it was 94 or something nationally. And kind of made my name in the industry. So from there, Motown was one of their labels. They moved me over to Motown to do regional sales. And that's when Boyz II Men was really hot. And, a few other things. We had Shanae and Shanice, and, it was pretty hot record company at the time. And Polygram told Motown that I was on loan. So after a year, they brought me back to Polygram and actually wanted me to design a marketing position because they didn't have a marketing position. So I created a marketing position for my territory that they ended up using as a template to build the program for the rest of the country.
Mm.
So we went from there. You know, we had 5 reps doing what I was doing around the country at that point. After that, after that, we went through the merger with Universal, and you know there were a lot of layoffs, but luckily I got retained, and that's what brought me here to DC. Mm-hmm. I moved here for Universal as they merged the 2 companies, and I was here for 6 months before I got a call from Sony to take me out to lunch and see if I wanted to join them. And I don't want to get real long-winded, but as you talked about people in Philly, mm-hmm. I think I had the job when I got up there anyway, because I went up to New York to interview, and had interviewed locally here a couple times. And then when I went up to interview the president of distribution, I went in to do the interview, and I was with the president and the vice president of sales. And we were in there for about no more than 10 minutes as we got started. His secretary rang the phone and said, you have somebody out here that wants to see you. He said, Bill, I hope you don't mind, but I got to break up our interview for just a second. I have somebody I didn't expect to come in and say hi. In walked Will Smith. Will Smith, I knew when he was a kid, basically. They used to ask me about the industry because their manager, Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, their manager lived directly across the street from me.
Oh, my.
So Will comes in and looked. He said, you the one interviewing? I said, yep. He looked at the president and said, hire that man. So I became the sales manager of the Mid-Atlantic region.
Hey, Bill, it's getting late. We're going. I guess we could do 3 shows. But look, why don't you take some time to talk about your art? You're working with an artist now, right? Yeah. In a minute or two, why don't you let us know about her, Charlene Nelson Scott?
Yeah, Charlene Nelson Scott. I'm honored and privileged to have met this artist who is a phenomenal talent. We've got a new project out that we're working now. The single "God Is at the Wheel," and I want you to listen to it. And she has a tremendous 3-octave range. She is very inspirational, gospel-based, but inspirational and can cross a lot of genres. It's a very upbeat song, very good song. You know, hopefully we'll have another opportunity. We can talk more about the album as we, get into the project a little more. But give it a listen, and I encourage all your listeners to give it a listen as well. Her name is Charlene Nelson Scott, and it's God Is at the Wheel. It's a very upbeat, uplifting song, and right now with what we're going through with the coronavirus and everything, everybody can use a little uplifting. So please, I encourage everybody to give it a shot for us. Okay?
Absolutely. Sometime tonight, I will be going on YouTube to listen to that, and we're going to see if we can't get it on the playlist. Look, man, I gotta thank you. Like you said, we could do 5 shows, and we'll have to do this. We'll have to do this again. I'm limited.
I said that from the beginning. I said I know we're going to go over time. Because, we can talk hours about this stuff and have for years. So I don't want to mess up your format because you'll be editing stuff.
Yeah.
Anytime you want me to come on, I'm happy to.
My man, thank you so much. Kiss the girls for me, and I'll be in touch, man. Thanks.
My pleasure.
This is Billy Walden signing off. I'm Rob Bell. You've been listening to the Black Rock and Soul segment of Getting the Record Straight. Peace. Be safe, y'all.